Nice. I just started recording. I'll be on video too, of course, as always, and then we will get started. Right. Let me think. All right, let me get everything settled and then we'll start. There you are. I see you. That's lovely. We're good to begin even now. So let me just get the video going and then we will start Twan talking about the project, talking about you. There's a lot to talk about. In the meantime, let me get everything sorted with Travladd. Okay, there we are. Wonderful. Yeah, video's not loading for me. I'm not sure why. Give me just a second. Just to make sure that it works and that we can see each other. Right, we should be good to go, Tuan. Hopefully now it is working. Anyways, thank you so much for coming to AMA Central. We appreciate your assistance and we appreciate your project. Players Only is with us tonight, guys. Lovely project. Very, very, very interesting utility as well. And a great dev that's going to present everything to us. So, Twan, first off, if you could please, introduce yourself, talk to us a little about the project and yourself, of course, your professional background in terms of crypto.
Okay. I'm the founder of Players Only. My name is Twan. My background is actually in investment banking, and then I pivoted to tech. I've been a software engineer for about 10 years. I have a degree in computer science. I have a master's degree in computer science, and I also have an MBA from Durham University out of the UK. I started Players Only about top of the year, and we were out there to solve a problem. We were trying to help underrepresented athletes reach universities so they can actually excel their careers and get scholarships. So for example, if you're in a country that has very small exposure or schools don't have the budgets to go there, we wanted to create that platform to give these athletes who have the skill set and determination to make it to the next level. So that's what the problem we were solving with Players Only. We built the platform. We launched iOS in July. In the 3 months, we did some grassroots marketing where we did reach outs on Instagram and whatnot. We got up to 6,000 users. And then from there, we pivoted into launching the token for the app.
Sounds really good. To start off with, I wanted to talk about the name, of course, Players Only. Is a pretty interesting name. How did the name of the whole project came to you guys, and what's the meaning behind it? I like, brandings that have a meaning behind it, which is very important, of course, so that people can feel, that they feel something when they see it, and then they give a meaning to it. So
Absolutely. The meaning behind Players Only, we wanted to create a social network where it focused on athletes. As long as you played some sort of organized sport, you could play high school, middle school, collegiate, or the pros. We wanted a platform where it was only sports content. So anybody who signs up is vetted to an extent that they play organized sports. So when you're on our platform, the only people who can actually post content are athletes. But fans are also able to go on there, but the only thing they can do is they can engage with athletes. They can like and comment and comment on posts. So Players Only is a platform just for players and athletes.
I think overall, the meaning is very complete. It makes a lot of sense, which is something I really stand for, which is, projects that have a very, very interesting basis. A lot of projects come and they can't really explain the meaning thoroughly, and I think is very, very important. Now let's talk a little about how the project was created, who's behind it, how big is the team, because we see you right now as the main face of the project, but
Right.
there's a lot to talk about in terms of team, in terms of development, in terms of growth. So if you can run us through that, that'd be great, Tuan. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. I'm the main developer behind it. We started the concept with a friend of mine who is a sports attorney here in LA. He gave us the problems that we were trying to solve, and we conceptualized the whole project from his perspective as an agent who helped high school players. So we're a team of right now about 7, mostly consisting of engineers. From that, we feel that the product and the roadmap is the most imperative thing that we're trying to produce. The iOS is launched. We're truly excited about that. We're getting ready. The Android version app is in testing. We're getting ready to launch that. And we just started development for the web app. So we're really pushing product out. And that was our main objective. We feel that we push all the components of the network out, we'll be in very good shape for 2022.
That's incredible. Yeah, I felt very impressed by the fact that you said that your iOS app has already 6K plus users, so over 6,000 users on your app. How come you guys launched in iOS before Android? Was it any reason behind it? Is it because you're more iOS is maybe more user friendly to you, or?
I think I was just being biased. I'm an iOS user. I know Android's a bigger platform. I was more familiar with iOS development, so we went that route. It's a little bit harder to develop on iOS, so we targeted the harder platform first versus going with Android, and we were able to complete the Android in fairly a quick time after that.
That's great. That sounds great. I was just about to say, at the end of the day, Android has a bigger use base, and a lot more people use Android. If you take a look at the worldwide consumption of of smartphones in general. So
Right.
even though I love iOS, I use iOS all the way. Got an iPhone, got my MacBook, but I always care about the rest. So that's great. That sounds great. In terms of the whole app, what development are we seeing? Would you consider it finished? Are you guys working to give it some external influences or more development to it?
We just added a few features right now in the iOS. What you can do, just think of it as it's a mixture of all the social media apps together. Think LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. So when an athlete goes on there, there's a feature called Note, which is 160 character note, which is comparable to a tweet. And then users can go there and post videos. They can post photos, and there's this feature called Replay. It's a version of IG Reels and TikTok. So they're able to do a 15-second sports clip of themselves playing the sport. And what happens based off of that, we actually created a leaderboard. So we gamified it. So the more engagement they get off this replay, they actually raise up on the leaderboard. And then essentially we're going to give prizes back to these athletes and fans who actually engage on the app.
Yeah, that sounds great. The whole idea is super good. And the way that you get people to interact with it is great too, as in how your holders can interact already with the utility, which is great. A lot of tokens are built as startups to then develop the utility, but you guys came with a very strong use case and a very strong development base already. And that's when it comes, my next question, which is about the funding. Is it you guys funding externally? Do you guys have any business angels behind it? Are you guys actually using the money from the token to then reinvest into R&D? Because, there are so many expenses when it comes to developing a DeFi project. Marketing is extremely inflated. We already know that.
Right.
But then R&D and development is so expensive too, to build an app, to get 3D designers, to get graphic designers. So who's funding this, and what's it looking like for you?
Um, you're absolutely correct. This is a great question. Our approach was a little different. Instead of raising the token and giving you this roadmap and try to build towards it, we actually delivered the product prior to raising the token. And actually started putting utility towards it. The project was self-funded. It was bootstrapped by me. We wanted to make sure that we had everything in place prior to the token, and we wanted to bring the token as a component to the network. So that's where we're going forward. And then we actually had some venture capitalists interested in the app prior to the token launch. But I felt, from my experience, that once we launched the token, once we launched the Android app, we would be in better position speaking to these venture capitalists. We will be seeking venture capitalists top of the year, and we have some very interested groups. Now we can actually expand further. Instead of traditional venture capitalists, we can actually look at DeFi venture capitalists as well.
That's great. And then I link the next question to this too. That's how I usually do it. I link questions to answers because it's very important, I think, to keep track of everything. When it comes to venture capitals or business angels or people that want to externally invest, even organizations and stuff, most of the time, because I've been there, most of the time they really like to have an exchange that they can stand for, or that they can see that is just supporting a token, as in, an exchange that has, uh, a little bit of the liquidity and a little bit of the supply, let's say, of a token, to give it reliability. Okay, because DeFi is very volatile, and then you start playing the big boy game once you join the exchanges. Pretty much that's how it is, fortunately or unfortunately. Um, do you guys plan in any exchanges in the short run, in the long run?
We are looking at a couple of exchanges. From my experiences, like some will hurt more than help. So we're being very particular in which exchanges that we're communicating with. There's a couple that we've reached out to and we're in dialogue with them. But we're taking a slow approach. We're thinking how being on an exchange Q1, Q2. I think once we get all the components ready, I think we will hit the ground running in 2022. Is my feeling in terms of getting the whole network in place, putting the token on the app, and then getting the exchanges going and getting the venture capitalist component in place.
Right, that's great. Makes a lot of sense. Amazing, Tuan. Overall, it sounds great. We brought you here to AMA Central because of the potential that this has. If I had to do a little bit of a personal review on this token, guys, on Players Only, I would talk basically on and about the exponential growth that you have ahead. Okay, I feel like it is at a very early stage. One thing that I appreciate a lot is all of the proper organization that they've brought to the investors, bringing a product before a token, which is mental. It's mad, because usually DeFi and Binance Smart Chain's been used kind of like as a fundraise me, um, where a lot of people that need the funds to develop a utility have been seeking for a community to help them raise funds to then develop a utility, which is great. I'm not saying it's bad, but when you find a token that comes to you with a product that's already been made, that's already been developed, and that has a lot of room for growth, is it's just next level in my opinion. This is where what I call business already. The rest is startups. This is already a business pretty much. He's a pretty uh, solid business with over 6K users in the app, which is already um, profitable. If you wanted to, you could even already start putting ads in your app and start making profit out of it from the people that you have using it, which is great. In terms of money cycle, how does the app relate to the token? Me being an investor, how am I able to benefit from that app? Apart from the usage, how does my investment benefit from the development of the app?
Well, the token will be utilized as a currency in the app. And any VC, any revenue that comes into that, a portion of that goes to buyback of the token and being burned. So as we start, we will generate revenue in 2022 for the app. So any 10%, up to 10% of the revenue will go towards the token. So you'll see the token appreciate over time as the network grows and as the revenue grows from brands and sponsorships and advertisement.
The answer I was looking for. So yeah, I mean, it is all an ecosystem that's connected together, which is great. You know, the ecosystem is very important when it comes to, and that's another thing. You know, a lot of projects start as a fundraising, as a startup, and then once they develop the utility, they forget about their community and they forget about the token because the utility is already being profitable. So you know what? Fuck the token. I don't care anymore. So that's why I was making sure that the whole ecosystem is kind of like bind it together. You know.
Right. Absolutely.
Perfect. In terms of you know, the whole development of this and the international reach, what are you guys doing in terms of marketing? How do you guys plan to reach masses and reach further investors? Um, if you could give us a little bit of a summary of your marketing plans.
Absolutely. We wanted to make sure that we had all the components in place. And like you said earlier, you brought up a great point that majority of the world uses Android. And we wanted to make sure Android was fully developed and ready. So we plan on doing a large marketing campaign in terms of a sports ambassador program, where we have ambassadors from all ages around the world supporting Players Only in terms of promoting it through organic tagging friends, telling word of mouth. So we want to pay these athletes ambassadors to promote the project. I'm not sure if you're familiar with North American sports. For the longest time, if you were a middle school or high school player, you couldn't monetize on your name or image or likeness because if you got a scholarship, they would pull the scholarship from you. But beginning July 1st, all North American sports, all players can actually sign marketing deals, make profits off their image and likeness. So we're actually leveraging that new law, and also it will benefit the athletes by having another platform to market their products and sponsors on. So not they can market on Instagram, but now they have another platform, so they can actually double what they're pulling in as athletes.
Makes sense. I like the way that you're involving athletes as well. There's no doubt that the sports bring a lot of people together, as well as they generate a lot of revenue for so many different lobbies. You know, we've seen it. We've seen it with other tokens that have used, and even like meme tokens that went dreadfully at last, but people love to feel, you know, related to a certain movement. In this case, it can be hockey, it can be baseball, it can be rugby, it can be American football, it can be soccer. The sports bring people together. Sports are profitable, and at the end of the day, we are here to make money. We're here to make profits. So that's very important to mention. You know, the fact that this is a profitable business at last. That's the maximum, you know, exponent, I think. Um, I think we talked about the marketing, we talked about the team, we talked about what's coming, which is great. Everything sounds amazing so far. Tuan, in terms of your let's say your moment right now, as in the development place that you guys are at, how much development has been made, and how much is there left to be made? As in, if I were to invest now, what kind of expectations can I have over Players Only?
Right. Expectations are exponential, actually. Great question. Um, our goal, like I said previously, at Q1 22, we should have a complete social network up and running. That will consist of the iOS app, the Android app, and a web app. The phase after that is we're creating our own NFT marketplace for athletes. So any athlete that's on our platform, we're going to help facilitate them creating an NFT and selling it on our platform. So our platform will be a sports-specific NFT marketplace. We will handle everything from A to Z for the athlete. So all they have to do is market it themselves on their social network. Beyond that, we're actually already started conceptualizing and developing a metaverse, a sports metaverse. Um, so it's early stages. We're still throwing some ideas back and forth on how we're going to approach that. But we feel like we have a great foundation of athletes that will help us facilitate the metaverse. And we actually have a pretty good idea on how we're going to approach it as well. That's our great roadmap for 2022. And I think we can execute pretty fast. We have a track record of executing it. Like our iOS, Android, we've knocked it out. We'll have the web app within 6 months, and we'll knock out the NFT marketplace in Q1 2022. So we're truly excited about all the utility and all the platforms that we're building for the sports community.
Sounds great. That sounds great. I'm happy. I'm happy. I do have a lot of belief in the project, for everything you've done until now and for what's coming as well. I feel like these projects are those that you want to be holding for a long term. That you want to just go to sleep with it in your wallet, pretty much. Not worrying too much when you go to bed, because the work's been put, the work's there. It's gonna, you know how volatile it is. It's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, but it'll get to a point where price floors are going to be a lot higher, and your investment of today, so today's investment will be a lot more um, powerful than it was when you first invested, because the price floors are going up in projects that have utilities that lead to people investing, of course, because they feel motivated by it. Now, I think I asked you a lot of things, Tuan. We covered, project utilities, the team. We covered marketing, upcoming marketing, your partnerships as well, in regards to, some sportsmen around, sportswomen. In terms of the whole process now, and in terms of your growth, I was just about to ask you, when can we expect that exponential growth? Do you have a certain date where you say we're going to go all in here, or do you just expect it to grow organically, time by time?
I think based off of that, I've looked at a lot of long-term projects, and you see their charts is really stagnant for about 6 to 9 months, and then once they actually go all in, you see exponential growth. You see their charts just pop and go extremely high, and then they start settling off, and they go up, pop again. So my vision is the 6 to 9 month. Once we have all the components in place, then we'll go all in, increasing the user base, increasing fans, making sure fans come and engage. So we'll go all in terms of marketing once we have all the components in place. I think we'll be shortchanging ourselves that we just try to promote it now with only iOS. We would leave all the Android users out. We would leave the crypto out because we wouldn't have it in place. But so if we have all those in place by Q1, we can go all in because we'll have Android, iOS, web, and the crypto in place, and an NFT marketplace. And we're not talking about 6, 12 months down there. We're talking about 2 or 3 months. It's going to be a short turnaround. So
Sounds great. Sounds great. Not gonna lie, that sounds convincing. Guys, I don't have a lot. If you are looking for my advice, I don't have a lot more to say. This is a safe play, a safe investment as of now, where I find it at a very low price for what it is. I find a lot shittier projects with much higher market caps. So if you're looking for, to invest for the future and to be able to gain and then make profits in the long term and even midterm, I think it's a good entry point. I'm not gonna lie, right now, he's at a good entry point. A lot of you already made your bags bigger, a little smaller, but you all are definitely looking forward to it, which makes me happy. I was just checking the chart. And it's all about you guys now, Tuan, and your team to deliver, and to keep developing. That's it. Mm. I'm seeing you today. We know you're KYC. The last question I wanted to ask you, and then we're going to jump into investor questions, is the full team KYC too? Is it just you? Is it who's the owner of the contract? Do you own it yourself? Do you guys have a multi-key wallet?
We're all the whole team. The original team was KYC. I added a couple of people, which I'll be adding them. They'll be KYC as well. I own the contract. The liquidity is locked for a year. Our founder tokens are vested for a year that release incrementally at 8% starting in March, I believe. We're double audited. We're audited by InterFi and CertTech audited.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Last question I didn't ask you though, and I want to cover too, is the tokenomics, of course. When it comes to investing, what taxes are we looking for, and how are they allocated? How are they divided?
Very low tax, 7%. 3% goes to marketing and development. 2% goes back to liquidity pool, and 2% goes back to the holders. So as you hold it, you still get 2% reflection over time.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, pretty classic, I have to say. It's a very, very laid back and classic contract with very normal taxes. Nothing to worry about. You know,
Right.
we've seen projects with like 35% taxes. You know, and it's just like wow.
Yeah, I've seen them too.
So it's great. It's great, honestly. This is what I call a serious project. That's it. It's a serious project, a business, and something that is potentially of a lot of growth. One, it was great talking to you. We're going to get our investors to ask you questions, okay, in regards to your project, of course, and how they feel about it. So Carlos is down for the first question tonight. Carlos,
Hey, how you guys doing?
there you are.
Well,
Doing
One great project. I'm reading the white paper and everything seems great. I just have one question. My question would be, are you guys planning on scouting the players that you're gonna be adding to your project? And if you are, does that mean that you plan on making your team a little bit bigger so that you can do that scouting around the country?
right. Great question. That's a great question. Our approach, I didn't mention it is a recruiting platform too, as a foundational. What we plan on doing moving forward when COVID lifts up here, we're actually partnering up with a lot of camps. So you're getting the top 100, 200, 500 and going to tournaments across the country and strategically partnering up with them. And we'll gather a lot of data. The app actually consists of a lot of data. For example, a basketball player, we actually have areas where they can actually vertical jump, their wingspan, how fast they run, their standing reach and whatnot. So actually we'll be able to verify that. And we're also making an iPad app for colleges, so they can actually filter through players and actually start marking them and seeing if they're interested in these certain players to watch over time. So great question. Yeah, we actually are going to actually vet a lot of data for high school athletes.
That sounds great, man. That's my only question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Appreciate you around. You know it. You know it. You're one of the loyals. Network King is around too. My brother, how is it going, Network King?
Hey, Benson, how's it going, brother? Just to kind of piggyback off of Carlos's question, because I'm actually heavily into sports. I'm actually in North America, so
Okay.
yes, I definitely know about the rule change. That is great. Like my star quarterback for here, where I'm at, like Clemson University.
Mhm.
You know, he just got the Dr. Pepper commercial. That was kind of cool, the stuff like that. That players can get paid off their likeness and everything. So,
Right.
my question about the scouting. First before the question, thank you for being a part of the developers that actually have utility before they release a project. Because I'm just so sick and tired of like Benson was saying, there are projects that do that, and you know, it just goes downhill from there. So thank you for having a actual utility. The website is amazing. Love the white paper, how you got it, you know, stretched out with the athletes and everything. That's a dope idea. So as far as okay, he kind of answered the question about the scouting, but are you targeting specific well, let me say specific players, or are you just trying to do every sport like basketball, football?
We actually have every NCAA sport. We have every sport listed. We have volleyball, softball, baseball. So if you're a kid playing travel ball in middle school, you can actually create a profile, professional profile, start creating a profile, and then you're going to have these schools actually start monitoring you at a young age. Our ideal thing is that we can get a kid who has a skill set and determination to play at a collegiate level, get them a Division II scholarship somewhere, or Division III, and get a full ride education. We understand that getting to the pro level is less than 1%. So if we can actually create a platform these kids can actually get a D2, D3 ride, we're more than happy. We've done our job, and we actually can put money in their pockets now at the collegiate level. It's a progression, so we can help them get to collegiate level, and when they're college players, we can actually get them marketing money. We're really, really doing our job.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Networking. Appreciate you, of course. And that was a great, great question. We're going to move on now to the next question, guys. Remember, for me to see your questions, you need to click on that button in the middle where you should have your mic. You have a little dude waving the hand. So if you click on that one, I can see that you got a question. So please do. I don't see any questions so far. There were a bit more, but I think they just forgot about them. Guys, please click on that if you have. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. So make sure you stay active.
Right. Or perhaps we answered everybody's question.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty complete. In terms of content, it was a very, very, complete AMA. So I don't think there's a lot left. But we got a few people. We got Reef FinTech, we got Chutzpah and Darren Froster. I think Darren was the first one, to be honest. Darren, if you got a question. Darren's falling asleep. Let's go with Reef FinTech. Reef, you've got a question apparently. The ground is yours.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hey, hello. Oh, I'll wait my turn.
Yeah, Darren. I thought you were AFK, so that's why I moved on to Reef. Let's go for Reef, and then I'll get back to you, Darren. No problem. Go for it, Reef.
Okay, so I just saw the website and the project is very good, I think. Just curious, what happened with the chart? Can you tell us the story? Why it was spiking very high and then down very hard too? Can you tell us the story behind it?
Yeah, absolutely. The story went out. We launched. We got on CoinMarketCap. Of course, it boomed. Paper hands shook it, and it went down. And we're slowly shaking out all the paper hands. We're a long-term project, and we know that, and we're just shaking out. I think our token has stabilized. It's undervalued. That's the story behind it, and that's why it's a long-term project.
The CMC listing that make it like that, yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah, so the CMC listing that make the chart spiking like that, right?
Yeah, the very early, that was CoinMarketCap that spiked it. Yeah.
Is that clear now, Reef? Is your question solved? Probably yes.
I think thank you.
Lovely, Reef. Thank you so much. Let's get on with Darren. Darren, it's your turn.
Hi, hello. How long is the liquidity locked?
1 year.
1 year. Okay, that's quite a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing I can say is check out Dick Up BSC. It launches today.
Straight up muted. Mate, let's stay respectful. Let's stay respectful to the projects that come here and take the time to talk to us and present really good projects. If you have anything to say about other projects, you're very welcome to do so in a polite way. once the AMA is finished. This AMA is fully focused in players only. So I'd really, really love you guys to stay respectful in terms of talking only about the project that's here with us tonight, which is a great project. So not talking about it, for me, big lack of respect. So next question, guys. If you have any other questions, go for it. Love your hoodie, by the way.
Thank you. I gotta send you one.
You have to. Yeah, it's getting colder here. We got Maximus around. Maximus, it is your turn, Maximus. Happy to see you as always. Maximus.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well, my friend.
Okay, great. Okay, so how do I phrase this? So okay, so basically you classify yourself as a P2E, right?
Pardon?
Hello?
Hello? Can you repeat your question?
So apparently Maximus asked if you classify as a P2E.
I'm not what P2E is. What's the definition?
It's a play to earn game, but you know,
Not so much.
not really.
Not really.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Maximus.
Oh, I don't know what's happening. Of late, I'm not able to get correct good communication. Anyway, so you said no, right?
No, it's more of an
Okay.
engagement. So fans will be able to earn points when they engage on the app.
Okay, so great. So one of my main concerns with this metaverse technology is that most people don't really seem well acquainted with it. So I was wondering, maybe you're not required to do this, but as perhaps maybe a way of spreading the metaverse, or spreading the metaverse to people all around the world. Would you have some like an instructive material or something of that sort in the project? Like maybe a general introduction to metaverse and how yours comes into play.
I think the question was about how we plan to, I guess, work around the metaverse. I guess
No. I'm
sorry.
asking. Fine, you can answer that as well. But that's a very good question. What you just posed.
Okay.
But what I was actually asking was, the metaverse is quite new, right? So would you have like an instructive material, a general instructive material on metaverse, and then add to with that how yours comes into play? Like maybe somebody decides to chance upon your project, would have a general overview of what metaverse is before specifically looking at the requirements or what your project is actually about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're still in the early stages of figuring out how we're going to approach this metaverse situation. The great thing for us is that we're located in LA. There's a lot of companies that actually have the hardware to implement the metaverse in terms of scanning and whatnot. So there's a couple companies out here that we're talking to and getting their feedback on how we're going to approach this. I'm not sure if there was a funny metaverse thing that a company did out here was Justin Bieber. He did a metaverse concert on Hollywood Boulevards on top of an Impala, and fans were able to come and interact with him through the metaverse. So it's very interesting. So we're getting a lot of information on how companies are approaching it right now, and we're going to figure out where we fit in with that whole project.
Okay. All right. Thanks
so
much.
much, Maximus. I appreciate you. You already know it. Already around, always around. Tuan, I think we really covered a lot of things. I have to say it was a great AMA in general. There are not a lot of weak points to players only. I feel like, well, you can see it yourselves in the chart, guys. Eyes on, it's gone really up, and now it's at a pretty low price, potentially able to have a constant steady growth for the next months of the bull run. So I don't have a lot more to say. I'm gonna give Bismarck a chance to speak if he wants to, Bismarck, if you got anything to say, you can say it right now. Thank you.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, guys? Hello, what's cracking, guys?
Yeah,
My
Bismarck.
question,
Mhm.
my question is, do you plan to target athletes here in Southeast Asia?
We plan to target every athlete on this globe, on this planet.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, I think the platform has a lot to offer. So, in terms of, international reach, it's never been so easy. Thanks to technology, reaching people internationally is just a matter of a second. So, I've got no doubts, having a big community of athletes internationally is going to be a great point for your token. Twan, I just wanted to thank you once again. It's been a very good AMA. We had a great chat. I'm going to give you room now to say anything you need, to express yourself, or to say some last words to our investors if you need to, and then we'll just round it up.
Sure. Thanks for the platform. Thanks, Spencer, for conducting a great interview. I just want to emphasize that this project is medium to long term. We have great utility. We have a great roadmap with products getting ready to launch. We have iOS, Android, and a web app coming out Q1. Our token is undervalued because we didn't go the traditional route of marketing. We feel that we need to do more of these AMAs just to tell people about the product. I think it's more beneficial with me hopping on video or chat and actually talking about it and taking questions versus a banner ad or whatnot. So these kind of type of platforms are where we're headed towards in terms of getting the message out. So it'll be a slower growth, but it will be growth.
I have no doubts. As long as you guys are able to filter quality and what's quality and what's not, really, of quality, that's great. Yes, it is a great way to reach investors, to reach communities. You had an AMA today with most likely the best community in Telegram for for DeFi and BSC, and I'm sure a lot of our investors are appreciative of your project. I've already seen about, I don't know, probably 30, 40 new holders on you, even more than that, probably. So I hope for them to stick around. I hope that you can take care of our investors too. And Tuan, all I can say is thank you for your time. You are amazing. Your project looks incredible. So keep doing what you're doing, keep working, and that's all you need.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Tuan. For you guys, thank you so much for coming once again. We appreciate you at AMA Central. You already know we have another AMA tonight at 20 UTC. Okay, it'll be scheduled. And with that said, I want to thank you very much once again, Tuan. Players Only, lovely project. You have all the links there in the chat. Don't miss it. Go take a look. And it is a great entry point for you guys. We always bring you projects that have a good entry point. We will never bring you a project at an all-time high point because it makes no sense. So as of now, good luck. Good luck with your investments. Stay safe. Anything you need, I am here for you. So Tuan, thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye. Take care.